Hey lovelies, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make these juicy and yummy chicken tenders right at home.
Can't cook. Think you know you pay your pretty look. You want to live a restaurant and come done man bank book. Cook, recipe book.
Okay, so the recipe calls for chicken breasts. I've already cut and washed 2 chicken breasts and I cut them into some strips. I'm just going to show you how I get one done. So what I do is I just put this on the cutting board and I just cut them into some strips. It's very simple. And of course you cut them however thin or thick you want them. But I cut mine in around 5 to 6 pieces. So this is what one looks like. After this, you clean your meat however you like to clean your meat, and then you can move on to seasoning your meat. So for me, I'll be using 2 tablespoons of all-purpose seasoning and a teaspoon of onion, chives, garlic, paprika, salt and pepper, and then I'm just going to mix everything together. You can use your favorite seasonings to season your chicken breast. So once I mix all that together, I'm just going to add like 3/4 of it to the chicken because I'm going to leave some to add to the other things. Alright, so once you do that, you just go ahead, use your hands or whatever you may want to use to rub that seasoning all over your chicken. Then you can set that to the side to marinate for at least 15 minutes. So moving along, we're going to season the other ingredients. So here I have 2 eggs and 2 tablespoons of milk. To this, I'm going to be adding in some of the seasoning that I've already blended together. You can add just a teaspoon of that seasoning. And then you can whisk everything together. Use a fork or a whisk. And this is for the coating of your chicken tenders or your chicken strips. The good thing about this is that it is homemade, so you can make it according to your liking. I know many persons that don't like to use egg to coat their chicken whenever they're frying it or their chicken tenders. It's totally up to you. I don't always use egg and milk to coat my chicken. Sometimes I use the bare flour and the bare seasoned flour, that is, and it comes out perfect. So I'd say this step is optional, but it really makes your tenders really good. Alright, so onto the flour. I have here about 1.5 cups of flour, and to that I've added 1 teaspoon of the blended seasoning, and I'm just going to move everything around so the seasoning is evenly distributed. So when I use it to coat the tenders, you know, you don't have one section with the seasoning and one section without the flour seasoning. So here's how you coat your tenders. You add it to the egg mixture, ensure that it's fully coated, and you drain the excess egg. After that, you add it to the flour and coat this well. If you really want your chicken pieces to be crispy, then you would, after you remove it from the flour, you add it back to the egg mixture and then back to the flour for it to have that really flaky, you know, after you fry it, it's really flaky, but I don't really mind. So I just take a piece of the tender once more or the chicken strips, add it to the egg wash or the seasoned egg mixture rather, drain the excess egg, add it to the flour, coat it properly, and after this I'm just going to rest it in my bowl or in my plate until I've coated everything. Remember, if you want this to be super crispy, you just need to add it back to the egg, back to the flour, and then you're good to go. So here are all the pieces, and now we're going to fry these babies up. So in my pot, I have enough oil, that will cover my chicken strips, and that's just how it's best. Now you should ensure that your oil doesn't get too hot. As you can see, when these went in the pot, the oil wasn't so hot, so they didn't start to burn right away. You want your oil to be hot but not too hot to burn your chicken. So one, ensure that your pot is over medium heat, not high heat. Then you add your chicken strips to your pot. Ensure that you have enough oil to cover them. And they're frying slowly, taking their time to fry. Once the oil is not cold, you're good. No need to wait until the oil is super hot like it is right here. Can't wait to give these a bite, guys. And while you're frying these, you can whip up your favorite dipping sauce for your tenders. Really, really yummy, guys. And after 10 minutes, you just ensure to drain these on a rack. Don't add them on top of any paper towel. Put them on top of a rack to drain the excess oil. They are looking good. They are smelling even better. And I can't wait to bite into these, guys. And then after you've drained the excess oil, here you'll have your tenders. They are looking so good and they were so yummy. Inside of these tenders were nice and cooked. They were not dried out, because chicken breast has a tendency to dry out when you fry them too long. But look at this. In my tamarind dipping sauce, my homemade tamarind dipping sauce as well. So yummy. I wish I could share this with you guys. So that's it. It's so easy to make chicken tenders at home. Look at this, guys. Real nice. Roma's kitchen style homemade chicken tenders or chicken strips. Of course, if you like the video, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications on, visit my website at romaskitchen.net for other great recipes. Thank you for watching. Until next video.